Shalom, Yashar Allah. First and foremost, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chachadash, double honors to beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. While peace and salutations to all you hopeful like talking about their laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I'm just coming at you with the latest and greatest, on what's going on out there in the build up to World War III and Iran, and the Strait of Hormuz being closed, more specifically, and that how recently of as today, in this post when I finally saw it was about 13 hours old, but and the point being is that the Babylon the Great, United States has asked other nations to help intervene with their navy to try to forcibly open the Strait of Hormuz, which we know is affecting Babylon the Great and the world economies of the Western nations very negatively, and so the actual results of those nations being willing to help have been answered, and it goes as such. This is an updated list of countries that have officially rejected offering assistance to the USA in securing the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has the upper hand. I speculate, this is this person's opinion at this point. It says, I speculate some type of deal within the next 2 weeks, although Nero will spin it that the USA was the victor. So we know that ultimately these nations are going to all shoot their arrows against Babylon the Great. And this is just one of many examples that is going to be used to show you that these nations are going to alienate themselves from Babylon the Great, as well as turn themselves to be an enemy unto the beast, the great whore, Salakia, the great whore that is riding the beast, which are these nations, mainly the original seven, but then NATO is now, I think, close to 30 countries, I believe, that are a part of the NATO allies. But the point being is that this list is as follows of the major big hitters in the world that have military capabilities that call themselves a trade partner or an ally to the United States. This is France rejected, UK rejected, Italy rejected, and this rejected means their response to helping the US forcibly open the Strait of Hormuz. This is Spain rejected, Japan rejected, Norway rejected, Canada rejected, Australia rejected, Germany rejected, China, no response. Netherlands, no response. South Korea, no confirmation. So all these nations that before would more than happy jump on the bandwagon to go help Babylon the Great, even if this was 10, 15, 20 years ago, man. They would be with open arms willing to help out in any way. But as you can see that the current administration and these files that are going public, and that a lot of people are calling this world current conflict as a cover-up for the files, and they'd be exactly correct. Not to mention, mainly that this is just a part of prophecy in continuing the build-up militarily. But we know that Esau was trying to do, something to cover up the files by starting, the conflict, which is all just not doing anything of his own will, because everything is very meticulously, which is it's down to every little detail, is coordinated through Yahweh, Yahushai, and the prophecies that Yahweh has already ordained. So Esau Edom is not doing anything to distract anybody from anything. Whether he thinks he's trying to do this land incursion against Iran to get the microscope off of him and how much wickedness that he's doing, because the world got him under the scope hail right now. So Salakia, Yashar Allah, I wanted to just, give out this spiel of what this lesson is entailing, the information that I gathered that I'm going to use to justify why I am reading these scriptures. Because everything that we talk about, no matter what world news update it is, everything that we say, do, or even act upon is based on the scriptures. So we are not doing anything out of pocket. We're not saying anything because it's a conspiracy or just something weird. No, this all ties back into what the scriptures say is going to happen exactly as it says it's going to happen. And this is Isaiah 14 and 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And that's what these other nations are doing to Esau Edom, which is the controller of the world, the world power. And we know ultimately he's going to really be put in his level in the kingdom of heaven. But even these other nations are going to see how weak Esau has become. Verse 11, thy pomp, which is another word for like your pride, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm, which is going into the decay, is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And that's going into Esau's decaying society. Nobody is looking at Miami like the Miami Vice in the 1970s. No one's looking at the United States like the place to be. There's more statistics coming out saying that more people are leaving the United States than since the Great Depression. So more people numbers wise are leaving compared to what are migrating to Babylon the Great. Because like we say, Babylon the Great has always been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, like scriptures say, because a golden cup is representing a golden cup that everybody wants to drink out of. Everybody wants to be like an American. Everybody wants to move to America. Everybody wants to have blue jeans and a white picket fence and live in a subdivision, man. Until you get here and you realize it's the American nightmare. So that decay of that dream is gone. Not to mention this infrastructure. Man, you go to China, Japan, or any of those other countries, their city life, their nightlife looks freaking awesome, man. We got fucking street lights that are flickering because you can't even get city workers out there to maintain the bulbs. It's flickering for a whole fucking 2 months before the city finally finds a way to do something about it. And it doesn't even match the other ones because these dumbasses don't even care about the cities that they live in. Nah, it's all about getting tax money to the little hats and for war. Is the only thing Babylon the Great is worried about, because they have the resources and funds to get the infrastructure and give you nice lights and a nice city light and clean drinking water and replace all the plumbing that may be corroded or whatever it is, that's industrial and a part of the industry of the United States. That's a part of the, what's the word? The infrastructure. That's it. The infrastructure of the United States. That's your plumbing. That's your electrical. That's your city sidewalks and streets and all that, man. And it's trash. It's degraded. And everybody can see that now, which is another testament to Esau Edom society crumbling. And I just realized I'm at 3% on my phone. So I'm going to read through these scriptures real quick before this lesson kind of just shuts down quick. But this is Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven? And heaven is just like from a high spot, being the top dog, I guess you could say. O Lucifer, which is light bearer, because everybody used to come to Esau Edom for that knowledge. Even though he is the top wicked still, until Yahushua takes him out of power, he's really starting to get a lot more pushback from the sons of men and the heathens, than ever before. Everybody is starting to see who the sons of the wicked really are, which are the self-proclaimed so-called white man. Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Because Esau subdued the whole world, whether it be his military or his money, into pretty much running this world how he wants under his power structure. The Edomite power structure, Edomite supremacy. Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Whoo, man, is that not where Esau Edom is right now? He's saying he wants to ascend to heaven, so he wants to ascend to God level. And Yahushua gave him that, blessing. Like scriptures say, his blessing shall be the dew of heaven and the fatness of heaven. So roughly paraphrasing, the dew of heaven, talking about he got the best of the best. So he did get that. And he did want to give himself on that high level. But, hey, he did it in wickedness. So by the balance of the universe, I guess you could say, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to bring him down and put on a righteous ruler. Like scriptures say, in due time will be put one that is profitable. Man, I want to get that. In due time, he will set one that is profitable. In due time, set profitable. KJV. This is Ecclesiasticus 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh, and in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable, and that is Yahweh Shai. Wah, King David, Wah, the elect. In the righteous government that Yahweh Shai is going to set up. Continuing Isaiah 14:13, Isaiah 14:14. I just wanted to bring that out, to prove that scriptural point. Man, I'm at 2%. I will ascend upon the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. And that's what Esau Edom said in his heart. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, which is the grave. Not talking about some place you're going to be burning for forever. The hell is a low place, the pit or the grave, because ultimately Esau Edom is going to be taken out. Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So we see all these nations. Now, ultimately, this is talking about how Esau Edom is going to be looked at in the kingdom of heaven. But as you see on a microscopic level, these heathen nations are already seeing who the problem is and who the son of perdition is, even though that these other nations are Edomite nations. But Babylon the Great is one of the main head figures of Esau Edom, especially the strong arm. So as you can see, these nations rejecting him is showing him that, hey man, these people ain't fearing Esau and Babylon the Great like they did. Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners, because we know that this place is going to be responsible for World War III, in the sense that this place is going to shoot nuclear missiles on these other nations as well as not open the house of his prisoners. Open not the house of his prisoners. We know that Babylon the Great here in America has one of the highest populations of prisoners per capita than any other so-called civilized nation in the world. So, hey man, like scriptures say, Judah is hid in the prison houses. So who do you think's most prison? The Israelite is in most captivity here in Babylon the Great. Continuing, I want to finish this real quick. Verse 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, every one in his own house. Because they're not out there conquering like Esau Edom. Everyone is going to go back to their order. But these nation, the wicked, is going to be taken out. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people, and the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. And that's the point I wanted to end on. This says, the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Ultimately, Esau Edom is going to be taken out. The self-proclaimed so-called white man is going to be laid flat with the ground. Like it says, the seed of evildoers. So I'm at 1% right now, Yashar Allah. Ultimately, I wanted to show you that this lesson and these nations are turning their back against Esau Edom and Babylon the Great, and are starting to fulfill the prophecy of making themselves an enemy to this man, and this nation, the great whore that rideth upon the beast, because that beast is going to look back and bite you right off your fucking high horse, Esau Edom. So Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachach Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.